Her Story, Our Story, 1 hour of power. It's an online free private group for women. There's a huge disconnect between what we go after and what we really want. Let's move forward. Join Her Story, Our Story, 1 hour of power. Do you sometimes feel unfulfilled and confused about your purpose? You don't have to go it alone. Come on over to the No Judgment Zone where you're going to connect with other like minded women from all over the world and receive support from others who have been through similar situations. Everyone has a story. What's your story? Seeking guest speakers. Do you have a story, talent, or ability that you would love to share? We invite you to be our guest. Hello and welcome to Her Story, Our Story. My name is Stephanie Wall. They call me Speaker Stephanie. I am the CEO and founder of Speaker Stephanie LLC and the founder of Her Story, Our Story, 1 hour of power, and the founder of 1 Million Lives Transformed, where we transform lives, relationships, and finances. The goal is for every woman, every person to transform their lives. I particularly super serve those women who've experienced trauma in their lives. Welcome to Her Story, Our Story. Remember, you belong here. You belong there. You belong everywhere. Be sure to shine your light. My name is Stephanie Wall, and I'm certainly getting it all. Come on in.
Hello everyone and welcome to Her Story, Our Story. My name is Hope Jackson, founder of Always Hope, and my purpose and goal is to help women to unlock what is hidden inside them. I know from experience that sometimes in life when you're going through dark times, you don't realize the purpose that you have inside of you. So my goal is to help you to find that and just to remind you that no matter what you go through in life, there is always hope.
Hey, Her Story, Our Story, 1 hour of power. It is Dr. Stephanie Wall, Speaker Stephanie, the Tower of Power, your transformation architect. This is a special Her Story, Our Story, 1 hour of power. Listen, we're going to jump right into it. Before we jump right into it, this mastery over mindset session, let's make sure we start everything with decency and order, because if my co-host, the absolutely amazing Hope Jackson, were here, she would be like, Stephanie, let's make sure we start with decency and order. So, Father God, we come to you as humbly as we know how, thanking you for today and every day. On this day, particularly, may the words of they come out of my mouth, the things that I share, may they be focused on you, all of you, and may they be people that are tuning in today and afterwards. May they see all of you and less of me. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, let's get it started. So, mastery over mindset. Here's the deal. Many of us, we know, you all know, and let me give you a little psychology lesson real quick. We all know it's all about mindset. We all know that everything is mindset. I'm sorry, y'all, like this head is going to drive me crazy. It's all about mindset. And that is this. Here's the deal. Every action that we take follows a thought, not the other way around. Remember, we first think about it, we first talk about it before we act on it. So here's the deal. Anything and everything you've done in your life, you've thought about it before you took an action. You probably thought about it at great lengths before you took an action. You might have thought about it within a split second, but you thought about it. So here's the deal. Anything that you want in life, whatever it is, you must first consider what and how you think about it, how you're thinking about that thing. If there's something that you don't want, stop talking about it and try not to think about it. Because whatever you're talking about, whatever you're thinking about, whatever you're giving the most energy, whatever you're feeding grows. Whatever you're feeding grows. Let's say that again. Remember a plant. If you feed and you nurture a plant, it will grow. Sometimes we get those plants that grow and they just grow all over. You know those plants, those vine plants that just grow all over your house. I had one of those back in my early 20s, and I had one again later on in life, and it just grew, and it was all around the room, and I loved it, but it just was growing and growing, and I fed it, and I put it in a place where it got the right amount of nourishment, the right amount of light. Well, here's the deal. That was a positive thing, but it got out of control, but it was still a positive thing. Well, the same goes with negative energy. If you feed a fear, it will continue to grow. If you feed bad mojo, it will continue to grow. If you feed negative energy, it will continue to grow. So be sure to feed what you want to grow. You are in charge. Now, with that said, mindset, whatever it is that you want to do well, there's something that you either love to do or something that you like to do and that you wish you could do better. But in order for you, this is where the mindset part comes. We want mindset. You have to have the right mindset. But in order to excel at that thing, you must master it. How do you master that thing? Why is that thing important? I know you all saying, what is the juice? I'm just trying to drop these nuggets on you all right now. Listen, I'm going to put my bug eye glasses on if you miss it. I'm going to do some reading, but I want you all to understand. I went back the other day and I was looking at some of my earlier YouTubes. And in fact, Olivia Hayward, who was one of the people that first introduced me to Amber and Olivia introduced me to this YouTube thing here. Introduced me into the power of it and why it's important. Not just the power, why it's powerful for me, but why it's important for me to use this tool to get my message out to the 1 million lives I want to transform every time I open my mouth. One of the things they said was when you start out, we all like when you start out with anything, we start out, we're not as good as we would like to be, but we're growing. And if you look at my earlier videos, I can see how I have grown. I'm still growing and I will always be growing. But I can see my growth from the beginning up until now. And that is because I'm putting in, not have put in because I'm not done, but I am putting in the work to master my craft. What do you mean, Stephanie? Example, your money, I want to say the great Trevor Ott said, that our gifts our gifts are for service, and that service is to others. That we cannot manifest anything without first helping others and then without help serving others. And they said when we were first created, the first thing God gave us all was a job. The first thing God gave Adam was something to do, something to look after. Everybody, as soon as you were created, you would get, God, you have a purpose. It's a job. It's something. It's your gift, and you must use it. Or how are you using your gifts? How are you using your gifts? So let's get into these meat and potatoes. Let's talk about because you all, I'm going to tell you, and I like to use words, and there's going to be one word that I will probably overuse. And as you all, y'all, you all use, I'll probably say you all and you. But here's the deal. Here's the deal. That's my word too. We all have a word, and that is mine. And I'm a hand. So if my hand's going to drive you crazy, I'm going to do my best, but I'm a hands person. But I want you to understand there's a method. There's a reason. There's skills, talents, and abilities, and you must master them. So one of the things that Trevor Ott and within the Black CEO community group from which I am in under the leadership of the great Trevor Ott is this. He tells us that in order to master something, you should be learning something new that helps to grow you and your business daily. The bottom basement, the minimum you should be doing daily is learning something, spending 15 minutes learning something new. Spending 15 minutes learning something new. For me, I like to look at YouTube videos. I like to read books. I'm always reading. I love to read. He also said, the great Trevor Ott said that if you are not reading at least one book, a new book, at least one book a month. And sometimes you may not have to do that every month. But if you do that every month, then you will see that I don't know what happened, ladies and gentlemen, but I am back. So, the great Trevor Otts says that we must spend 15 minutes. I like to read books. And as I said, sometimes we have to read a book over and over again, multiple times to really get the meat and potatoes. So if it's a really great book, and I have many books that I read more than one time, and I find that when I go back and read it the second time, or the third time, or the fourth time, or the fifth time, or the 100th time, I learn something new. So if that's what you're doing, that's fine, but it should be at least 15 minutes. Take some notes. You should be writing copious notes. According to Trevor, he says the note takers are money makers. So if you're not taking notes, then you're missing an opportunity. So let's get into this. I have some other things that I want to talk to you about, and I want you all to know that there is opportunity in everything. But the biggest thing is I want you to know that did you know that there are 90% of startups fail? 90% of startups fail. That number is astronomical. 90%. So the way it was put to me actually was 9 out of 10 fail. 9 out of 10 fail. And why did they fail? Some they say fail because they didn't want to test the market all of the time, all of the time, all the time. We're told within our group that we must test the market. Now, show of hands, and I'm included. My name is Stephanie, and I did not do these things because I wasn't aware that they were a thing that needed to be done. And that is, did you test the market before you launched your business? Did you test the name of your business? Did you test the name of your business? Did you test your logos? Did you test if you wrote a book? Did you test how the book cover would be received? Did you test the title of the book? Did you test the title of the chapters? None of those things that I do. I never knew that was an option. I never knew that the processes how to test. I never knew any of that, and I just recently learned it. So I encourage you to utilize things from Facebook to other options, but test out those things. Do the work on the front end to save you headache and heartache on the back end. Y'all still with me? Mastery over mindset. Mindset is great, but you have to master the process. You have to master the program. You have to master what it is that you do. What is it? However, you're serving the world. You should be one of the best, if not the best, at that thing, at least in your area that you are aware of. Because there's always somebody that's coming up beside, behind you, or already out there that also is doing it very well. Never think you are the only one, but know that you are one of the best. And if you are indeed the best, oh, all praises to you. Here's what I want you to do: mastery over mindset. No, okay, so this is, I want you to know that why do some entrepreneurs thrive, but others don't? The first is they understand about the SOS, system of service. They understand that you make money. Money is not to be hoarded, but that if you make money, that you have to put some percentages of that monies back into your business. It may be training, it may be tools, and it may be strategies, whatever it is, but you got to put that money, 10% minimum. You got to put those monies back into the business. In your SOS mentality is you have got to understand that your gifts are not for you. Your gifts are not for you. You're never going to you're never going to get repetition of true mastery until you understand that your gifts are not for you, that they were meant to serve others, and you'll never gain mastery by serving anyone other than yourself. I told you God created a man. First, he gave the man a job, and then he put a man to work on mastering that purpose. So what is your purpose? And when you say, what is this? I don't know what my purpose is. I need you to work on that as well. When you think about purpose, now I know y'all, I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole. We're not going to stay down here long. And I encourage you, whether it be with me or anyone else, you can, whether it be with me or anybody else, I need you to definitely seek out someone to help guide you on your journey. Because listen, I'm going to tell you right, the worst thing you can do is think that you have all the answers to do it. This is a lot of work. Say it with me. It's a lot of work. Entrepreneurship is not easy. It's not for the faint heart. It's not a game. It's not a hobby. It is. There'll be failures. There'll be struggles. There'll be days you want to quit. And if you can quit without even looking back and never thinking more about it, it was never for you. And it's okay. But recognize it was never truly something that you wanted to do. It was not, you were not working within your gifts. So I'm going to take a quick moment we're going to have a quick commercial, and then I'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Sharon Allen, and since I began my journey with Speaker Stephanie, the transformation architect and also known as the Tower of Power, I've gained so much more confidence. I've also been able to help other women with their life challenges, such as feeling stuck, divorce, and even loss. So if you want to increase your visibility or grow your business or even your confidence using your voice, I highly recommend that you use and work with Stephanie, because she is awesome and she is the best of the best. I mean, great beyond words.
And there you have it, directly from Coach Sharon Allen. So now let's just get into this thing. I want you all to talk about, I want you to remember that according to Forbes, now remember I told you earlier, according to Forbes, 90% of startups fail. I'm not saying it's Forbes said it. Forbes said it. I'm not just coming blowing smoke. This is what Forbes said. Again, your gifts are meant to serve others. In case somebody missed it, your gifts are meant to serve others. I double dare you. Y'all remember that? I double dare you. I remember when once, and it's going to happen to you all. You're going to get to a place and you're going to feel like you're serving and you're doing your thing. And then you're going to be like, okay, oh, look at me. I'm doing all of this. Yes, you are. But the moment that you forget why you're doing it, the moment that you forget who you're serving, the moment you forget, you begin to serve yourself instead of serving other people and thinking you're so important. I had a book when I was like, oh, me, look at me, I'm Speaker Stephanie, look at me, I'm doing it. No, 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 Speaker Stephanie. You are not, you're doing it. You're doing it. Yeah, you are. But you are doing it not for you. Yes, you are using your gifts, but don't make it about you. And you all, here's the deal. It happens not just entrepreneurs. It happens to you on your business. It happens to you on your job, in your careers. The higher you grow up in your organization, they give you these titles, and you start becoming the person. You start becoming the title instead of being the person that you are. It happens to us all. But here's the deal: cycle in and cycle out of that mess. Cycle in and cycle out of it. What do I mean? I mean that you don't ignore anything. Don't ignore the signs. Entrepreneurship is this. Entrepreneurs don't ignore signs. Entrepreneurs, these businesses that thrive, they don't ignore the signs. When they see the signs of a crack in the foundation, a crack in the foundation, because a crack in the foundation is all good until that crack keeps growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. And then the foundation is no longer solid. And when the foundation is not solid, then neither is the infrastructure. And so we know it's about infrastructure. It's about structure. You have to have structure to have a sound foundation with a sound structural integrity. So this is what they don't ignore that. So they say, okay, you know what? There's a problem. We need to fix it. There's a problem, a crack in the foundation. Let's make sure we secure that. And so the foundation may be ego. The foundation may be the lack of mastery. Because see, you cannot wing it in these businesses. There's no such thing as winging it. If you want to be a coach, then get certified in coaching. If you want to be a great coach, then get a coach. Coaches have coaches. If you are in business and you don't have any clients, if you have a coaching certificate and you're not coaching anyone, if you have a coaching certificate and no one is paying you, if you have a coaching certificate and you have 1 client, 2 clients, 3 clients, 5, 10 clients, and you ain't had 1 cent, you are out of business. If you have a website and you have all these great things and you got everything in place and there's no money's coming in, no one is seeking to do business with you, no one is seeking to hire you, no one is seeking you out, no one is following you. See, y'all don't, let's talk about followers. Please do not, please do not be fooled by 1 million followers, or not 1 million, let me take it back. Don't be fooled by followers on Instagram or anywhere else. Because for some people, they're buying followers. Okay, let me just be there. Okay, some people are buying followers. Some people are, they're doing all kinds of craziness and they have a bunch of followers, but they're not, that is not it's not transitioning into actual clients, paying clients. But there's a lot of people following them on social media. So let's be clear. And I will tell you that visibility leads to credibility, which can lead to profitability. But you first have to have accountability. Somebody say it for the people in the back. Put accountability. A before B, baby. A before B. This is all I'm saying. What you have to have visibility. You really do. And if you absolutely are challenged with that and you don't know how to have visibility, I would love to work with you. You know how, there's my link right there. Contact me, schedule your sessions. I prefer it. It works well for most people to work in group settings. However, I absolutely do take individual clients. Here's the deal, folks. You have to understand that, again, that your gifts are meant to serve other people. If you are not in the business to serve other people, then I'm not the coach for you. If you're in the business you have an event and you're not seeking to serve and build up your clients, your employees, your staff, your organization, and you're seeking a magnificent speaker to come out to inspire, to educate, and to just break down barriers and break down mindsets, then I'm not the speaker for you if you are not seeking to truly serve them, because I operate in service. Let's get back to these entrepreneurs. Okay, if you are an entrepreneur and you have a business, what is that business? What is it, and how is it serving the world? How is it? What pain is it relieving from someone? How is it helping? How is it helping someone else? And remember, people pay for your expertise. They pay for you. They pay you to do the things they don't want to do. They pay you for information. They pay you for what you mastered. That is what they're paying you for. So what have you mastered that you can help somebody else with? And how is it different than what somebody else has mastered? How is that thing different than what somebody else has mastered? And when you think about it, what have you grown through? And how can you help somebody else grow through it? You all, it seems difficult, but it really isn't. Entrepreneurs that have, or startups that are still in place, they recovered, right? Oh, let's make sure we check that. We're not gonna have no something spelled wrong. They recovered. They recovered. They recovered from the hard knock startup life. What is that? I'm going to tell you a bunch of people, include. Okay, so 2019 was when I was like really, 2018, 2019 was when I was Speaker Stephanie was on its way. It was cooking up out there. It was coming on out there, right? 2020, like most people, full out there, engaged. I'm still here. But there were a bunch of new people, if you will, right along with me. And I'm still new. There was still a lot of new people, because we call new. I'm in 19, 20, 21, 22. That's still new. On the job, they don't even talk to you. I remember being in the police work when I was a rookie cop. They said if you ain't had 5 years on, you couldn't even speak. Now I did, because I was too old for that shenanigans. But there are many people believe that was the culture. So in the business world, there's a thing. You got to pay your dues, and at 3, 4, 5 years, you're still young. But understanding this respect, if you're still out there a year later, it's respect if you're still out there every year, you keep showing up. But understanding that you've got to admit that it's not easy, but you've got to put your money. When you earn money, 10% of it has to go back into the business. And back into the business means getting with the tools you need to master the business. Sometimes it is mastering. Some of you don't even know how to, you're struggling with online services. You're struggling with StreamYard. You're struggling with Zoom. You're struggling with YouTube. You're struggling with social media. Whatever that thing is, I need you to spend 15 minutes looking at a YouTube, or 15 minutes looking at the manufacturer's videos, but 15 minutes every day learning, mastering one thing until you have it. Don't leave that thing until you have it. 15 minutes every day. 15 minutes every day. 15 minutes every day until you master that thing before you move to the next. One book to help you to grow, one book a month. If you're not doing that, if you're not mastering anything, if you are not learning something new, the old saying that if you're not growing, you're dying. The same is as true for entrepreneurs. I told you entrepreneurs don't ignore anything, and they have a product that meets a need. We talked about that. What is the product that you have? There's going to be many of you that's going to be watching this, and you're thinking, okay, oh my gosh, I have a book. Okay, you have a book. I have a book. I push it on back. I have a book. You see that? Those are my books. How are your books serving you? That book there and that book there. Those are Stephanie, you see my name at the bottom. There are several books at the top where I'm also a part of those books. I'm in the anthology. But how are we serving the world? And actually, was it? I mean, these are around here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. 5 additional books. So okay, 7 books. 7 books. I am either author or co-author. I'm telling you, how will the books serving you, and how will those books serving the world? I did not, for the ones that I am the lead author, if you will, I did not go out and test them. I wish I had of. I'm telling you, test your book covers, test your titles, test your chapters, test all of those things. You have logos. You see, I don't know if you guys can see. Let me move this thing off here so you can see this. My logo on my shirt, Speaker Stephanie. I think it's jazzy. Yeah, I do. But I didn't test it. Did you test your logo? My logo that's at the top of my screen where it says 1 million lives transformed. That's my other logo. That's my brand. I didn't test it, but did you? But I wish I had. It's catchy. However, do yourself a favor. Do those tests of your information beforehand. We've already talked about systems. If you've been following me on social media, which I hope that you are following me on every platform. Most platforms have different things that we may talk about. It may have different graphics. It may have different topics. It may have different, but I'm 1 million lives transformed and Speaker Stephanie. You can find me anywhere as 1 million lives transformed and Speaker Stephanie. I'm on a mission. And you should be on a mission. The mission to a brand new you. Every day, there should be a better version of who you are. Every day, you should be on a mission to the brand new you. And when I say the brand new you, I don't mean like you just transformation. You know, like I remember when I was many years ago, was going through a transition in my life. And I went from having hair, a little bit down on my shoulders. I decided I needed to change. So I went and cut my hair from shoulder length to about this short and some color and all of this. And of course, like a lot of women, I went exercise. I was exercise guru. I lost this weight. I changed my look. I had a new attitude. But here's the deal. I changed some things about myself, which in turn, the external things I changed about myself changed the internal things. Because see, how we see ourselves is how we show up in the world. So I started feeling a little different about myself. And so therefore, what I believed about myself, I started speaking into the existence. And my actions follow my thoughts. And so the way I showed up in the world changed, and the way the world looked and responded to me changed as well. It's the same for your business. Sometimes your business might need a little lift. Sometimes your business might need a change. Just because you started out your business one way doesn't mean it needs to continue exactly that way. You may need to relaunch your business, relaunch your life, relaunch your brand, rebrand yourself. Come on, you all, you have seen everybody has rebranded themselves. I mean, listen, remember when McDonald's was, everything. Look, everybody from McDonald's to Wendy's, look at all the fast food brands and look how they have rebranded themselves. Right? Do you remember when KFC was called Kentucky Fried Chicken, when the Colonels, which you used to see, but now it's KFC? You all rebrand yourselves, get with it, and be spontaneous, be okay. But when I say be spontaneous, I want you to do the research. I want you to do the research. Look at what others are doing. Do the research. See what's working. See what is drawing you into it. Entrepreneurs, listen, whether you're an entrepreneur or you're a career person, mastery over mindset. If you work in an organization and you said, I got the right mindset, I come in with a great attitude, I have a great attitude, I come to work on time, I'm here, I do the work, but have you mastered your craft? If you are someone who works in customer service, Are you the best at it? And do you research customer service, and when they send out those little, how we get those, you may get something to come, some email to give you some tips on what somebody else is doing or how they want you to maybe implement those things. Do you really read them, and how do you strategically figure out how you can do a little bit better than the person to your left and the person to your right? Have you given yourself the edge? Or have you told yourself, are you the person that goes to work and you spend more time, or the entrepreneur, you spend more time talking about what you're not going to do, why you're not going to do more, why you already do too much, why, instead of why you're the best, why you can be better, what you can do better, how you can do it. And this is the brouhaha. This is the thing. When you learn how to do that thing, I'm telling you right now, if you, whatever it is, how this Microsoft comes out with something new, or Microsoft Teams is driving people to drink that don't know how to do it. How about you go, if you know how to do it well, teach somebody else. Go on there and teach somebody else. If you are great at leading meetings, teach somebody else how to be great at meetings. You will become the guru. They will love you so. See, when you teach somebody else, you're teaching yourself, and you are now embedding, and you are ingraining, and you are now mastering it, because you're teaching somebody else how to do it. So while you're learning, if you want to master something, while you're learning how to do something, while you're learning, so you're going to say it 3 times, because Trevor says you got to say it 3 times. While you're learning how to do something, teach somebody else how to do that thing, and you will then master it. You want to learn how to do something? Teach somebody else how to do it, and you will master it. And once you master it, keep doing it, and then learn something else. Keep doing it, and then learn something else. But do that thing for which gives you a headache, and other people will pay you to relieve theirs. I want to leave you with this. And you guys have heard me say it a tons of time about the late Bob Proctor says that change is inevitable, but that personal development is a choice. But I want to tell you one that Trevor Ott says the biggest problem that many of us have is that we believe we know everything before we do anything. Let me say that again. We believe we know everything before we do anything. So until you have mastered something, and I mean like truly mastered it, I want you to say, you know what, there's always something to learn, and I could always learn something to be better. And go on a mission to master everything that drives you nuts. And even when you have the money to pay somebody else to take on that headache, and I hope that you do, because I don't want you, as Trevor I said, don't get addicted to the process. We don't want you to be addicted to the process. But until you get to the point where you can pay somebody else, and I hope even sometimes you're going to have to make sacrifice to pay somebody else because you don't have time to do that thing. But until you get to the point where you can pay somebody else freely, that's what you do, so that you can do other things that are just as important. Until you get to that place, I want you to master that thing. But when you get to a place where you can pay some other people, you should at least know how to do it. At least the basics, because you should understand. I want a little bit of the dynamics of it. Oprah Winfrey talks about the fact that early on she learned that it was important that she understand budgeting, and she understand how to handle the monies, because if you don't, that's how you get robbed and why people steal money from you, because you don't understand the basics of it. So I encourage you to learn the basics of everything, at least how the processes work, before you hand over the reins to somebody else to take over it. Understand how to do it yourself. That way you explain to them exactly how you want it to be done, because you know exactly how it is to be done, and you'll know if it's not done correctly. All right, so it has been Speaker Stephanie, Dr. Stephanie, your transformation architect, the Tower of Power. It has been an amazing time. I hope you learned something here today. If you've learned nothing, I want you to not assume you knew everything before you do something. Before you do something, I want you to remember that personal development is a choice. And I want you to remember that 90% of entrepreneurs or 90% of startups fail. And that most of it has everything to do with not mastering, but only thinking. I need you to think more, do less. Unmute yourself. I want you to say it, believe it, and then do it. God bless you. See you next time, next Wednesday, same place, same time. Me and our next guest and my fabulous hope, my fabulous, I love that word. My fabulous co-host, Hope Jackson, the amazing, the incomparable Hope Jackson. See you all. It's been Dr. Wall. God bless you. God bless you.